Yes,
Nah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Man,
What
we live, baby. What y'all talking about? We
what's
live.
going on,
Let me make sure the
everybody?
camera's right. Let me make sure the camera's tight.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to, I believe it's the second episode of a weekly Sunday show that the four of us have wanted to plan for quite some time together. Now that it's the off season and our schedules are freeing up, hopefully we'll start to be more consistent. Starting with myself, you guys already know me, dime dropper, born and raised in Los Angeles, Clipper fan, but a fan of the game. And we also have the man with the most interactive platform on the gram these days, Ball
Oh,
TV.
pleasure.
OG.
Oh, man.
We also have, I don't think you've seen him on this channel besides, actually, I don't know if Flea has been on this channel before, but you can catch him all the time on his own channel, Are We Live Flea, and at AllBall on Instagram as well. Happy to have him. Also from New York, but now in
Houston. I'm here. I'm here. In the HTX, but I'm a Queens guy. You know that. New York to the death of me. I'm here though. Happy to be
and
here.
then we got some of the most familiar for the Dime Dropper fans, Fabian PerspecTV, always wheeling and dealing behind the scenes, and it's no different today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pleasure,
How we
pleasure and
doing,
the
fellas?
honor. Pleasure and the
What up?
honor,
What up?
man.
What up? What up?
Always be around y'all brothers, man. Always honored and very humble, my brothers.
Likewise.
So we're going to be talking about various NBA topics, the latest right now, and a lot of it is a free agency buzz that's begun already. Fabian, where do you want to start out?
If you're going to jump right into the free agents, would you want to jump into the reaction to the trades first, guys? Or Nas Reed is the only guy that's available now. He just signed to the Minnesota Timberwolves. But I think it's more a reaction to the trades that happened. CP3 getting traded twice to Minnesota, to Washington, and then finally to Golden State, which is crazy in itself.
I have
And the
something to say
second trade,
about
of
that.
course,
Go ahead.
that involved Jordan Poole going to Washington, and we saw what happened in Golden State, how that unraveled. I mean, AllBall started off. What do we think about that? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I kind of wanted to ask y'all a question. Just want to say, everybody, good evening. Like I said, pleasure and honor to be with my brothers right here. How do y'all feel about guys that some consider top 20, top at their position, whether it's 5, 10, 15, being traded like it's nothing? I feel some kind of way about the Chris Pauls, the Russell Westbrooks, the Kyrie Irvings. I feel some way about these guys just almost being thrown to the wind. The Chris Paul trade, I don't understand it. My opinion, I think it's going to be like a D'Angelo Russell move where they just trying to find the right trade. He's not going to stay there. It doesn't make any sense. Let's not forget him and Draymond don't like each other. Let's not forget what happened and the things Draymond said before about Chris Paul. Y'all can look that up. So, and Chris Paul and Curry, even though they have a respect for one another, there's a disliking for one another as far as on the court. These are things that I don't understand how people don't see. But I don't understand why Chris Paul is being traded so much if he's a point guard, G-O-D. Y'all opinions on that? I really feel some way about that. I don't get it.
I think we easily forget when Olajuwon was up, they shipped him to Toronto. I know we remember when Patrick Ewing got old and he was sent to Seattle. I know all three of us right here, not excluding Don, but we are big Knicks fans. And so I remember when Patrick Ewing got traded to Seattle. That was like the end of the world for a lot of New York Knicks fans. We didn't understand it. All I'm saying is that Chris Paul is 38. He's on the other side of his illustrious career. Anywhere he's moved, they get better. You just look at them statistically in terms of winning percentages. Everywhere he goes, from the time he got drafted, he gets drafted into New Orleans, they get better. He gets traded to the Clippers, they get better. OKC, they get better. Houston is in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. He gets hurt, but he's a part of that ascension for Houston. So I just think from from a GM's perspective, Dunleavy is over there now, and Dunleavy was working right under Bob Myers. So his style ain't gonna be too much different than Bob Myers. So getting Chris Paul in there, I just think is a somebody that could help that second unit. You know that they expected the second unit to take another step. They didn't. Kuminga, Moody, they traded Wiseman. So all of those picks and all of those young guys, they didn't take that next leap for Golden State, which is a big reason I think why they didn't elevate to where they should have this past season. But Chris Paul could be that guy until they decide to move him, because I agree with you, AllBall. It's similar to that D'Angelo Russell move. They got D'Lo for a year. They moved him before the trade deadline, and we don't even remember D'Angelo as a Warrior. So that could be it for Chris Paul. But in the beginning of the season, I think he helps that second unit a lot.
But when y'all done, I got something to say about Bob Myers. I think he's getting too much props and he's being overrated. I got something to say. I'm gonna let y'all go though.
Yeah. What you got for us, Dom?
Well, I think that it was definitely a weird move, but Flea is right. Everywhere Chris Paul has gone, he has helped the team before it kind of flames out after a couple of seasons. But in my opinion, I heard Steve Kerr talk today on a podcast with actually my friend BJ. Oh my God, Fabian, I was going to call you about this. BJ, who I was just on the podcast with last week, or I think, last Sunday, I believe it was, the Pull-Up Podcast. He had Steve Kerr on his show.
Oh, wow.
Steve Kerr.
Crazy.
That's dope.
I know, right after having, hey man, after me was Steve Kerr, so I'm blessed to have been right before him. But good for BJ. You guys can check it out. It was 25 minutes, and in that he asked him about Chris Paul. Actually, I'm not sure if he even asked him about Chris Paul, but one thing he said over and over again was turnovers. We're one of the highest turnover teams in the league last season.
Yes.
And what's the one thing when you think of somebody who doesn't turn the ball over? The one player that comes to mind is CP3, Mr. Assist to turnover ratio. So they clearly just want to better.
Can we show Tyus Jones some love? Tyus Jones has led the league in assisted turnover ratio for the last 6 years in a row. Can we show Tyus Jones some love? Like,
big shout out Tyus Jones.
We're going to talk about Tyus Jones, I feel like, right? When we talk about the Wizards.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. We need to talk about Tyus Jones.
It's a weird move to me only because the Warriors' offense is so fast-paced, and CP3 hasn't played for a team that likes to push pace since Lob City. He's really slowed down the Suns' pace. Like we've seen when Cameron Payne plays, they played with such better pace. And he never likes to move without the ball. The most he does off the ball is stand around on the three-point line. So that's my only thing with CP. I think when they go to the bench and have him have the ball, it's going to be a lot of pick and roll. But they don't really have a great rim-rolling big like yet. Looney's a great rebounding big, but he's not like a vertical threat or a guy that you think of like scoring a bunch of points on pick and roll. So that part's a little interesting to me. Well, it's going to be interesting to see if Kuminga gets involved a lot in that second unit, but it's a little weird. I think it'll make them a little bit better, though, in the playoffs. But to me, with Golden State, it's not moving the needle that much. What really has to happen is Draymond and Clay need to be better. I don't know if they can be anymore. But, Fabian, your thoughts?
I think these are all great points, and we kind of avoided the fact that they traded Jordan Poole. Like, you got rid of Jordan Poole. You gave him $150 million last year, whatever it was. So that means Draymond got to be re-signing. There's no way around that. Even though you bring in CP3, who he's on record saying, I don't like that guy, I don't have a great relationship with him, but he's a smart dude or whatever it is. He never had the greatest relationship with Steph Curry. But I think, you hit it on the nose with the D'Angelo Russell move. Big time. It's like a combination of D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Rodman going from San Antonio to the Bulls. That wasn't well accepted. And CP3 himself. Like CP3, like you guys mentioned, going to OKC, going to Phoenix. What he did for DeAndre Ayton, like they were linked hand in hand by the hip, so much so that they thought that the Chris Paul deal would be with Ayton. They got to see something. They need somebody to help Kuminga get over the hump. Because for some reason, he's not getting playing time. And it can't just be he's a great talent and we're not giving him playing time. Nah, it has to be something. I think CP3 fits the mold for that. But more importantly, they really believe in this dude, Draymond. Like, I don't know what Draymond has. He feels like a mobster just extorting these dudes in the front office in Golden State. Because I really don't get it. Like, I understand he's that smart. He's an eloquent dude. I understand like he uses his leverage very tough. The way he speaks to the ref is crazy. I think that he would actually lose leverage if he left Golden State anyway. But him staying in Golden State, he is a big dog there. They have an enforcer now with Chris Paul there. It solidifies the fact that what we thought. I don't think they care for Jordan Poole like that. I think they thought what I thought about Jordan Poole's talent. Like, he's okay. He's all right, but he's not this super duper guy. He's the heir to the throne. And the fact that you bring in CP3 and you can't develop your other young guys because Jordan Poole is there, I think that speaks volumes. Like, it can't just be Draymond. We need another veteran here, and we want to give our core 4 or core 3 another shot for the next year or two with Chris Paul there.
Think about this, fellas, real fast. How egregious it was for Draymond to knock dude out. Because let's not act like he ain't knock him out. He knocked him out. Spaghetti legged him and then grabbed and then caught him, right? Like, that was a clean knockout. So I'm bringing that up to say this. All of that happened, and a week ago, they traded Jordan Poole. Like, think about that, right? Like, all of that happened to Jordan Poole, and they still was like, you know what? We paid this young kid, but we still gonna move him anyway because we just don't want him in this locker room no more. I don't want to get too much on Draymond. I would like to wonder and know what's going on with that locker room with Jordan Poole. Like, is there something with his maturity level? Is there something with how he approaches the game? Like, what is it about him that everybody is out on him now? I'm sure they had to go to Steph like, Steph, what do you think about moving Poole for CP3? I'm sure he had to give some feedback on that.
Well, let me just say this real quick. I'm gonna say, all right. Let me address that. They made a mistake trading Jordan Poole. Let me explain why. Him and Wiggins was one of the main reasons they won that championship, even though Steph Curry got the Finals MVP. The way Poole played coming off that bench and the way Andrew Wiggins played put them over the hump. Now, let me go to Bob Myers. Everybody say Bob Myers is his genius. Let's not forget, he has players, Kuminga and all them other young players. Let's just call it what it is. Them dudes ain't as good as everybody's making them out to be. Like, some of these people is like have these guys as if they're the next coming. And that puts too much pressure on these young dudes. And then it leaves people like us to critique them. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say they can't play, they trash. No, I'm not going to do that. But Bob Myers, this is under his watch. Now, I know they got 4 rings, but let's not forget, Curry and them went and got Kevin Durant. Bob Myers, he didn't come for Bob Myers. They lost a ring being up 3-1. They lost to Kawhi Leonard, and then now you get rid of one of your best players. Why is Bob Myers being revered as one of these great GMs?
Oh, he drafted what, Clay and Draymond?
He sure did.
Or he was the assistant GM for that, but
he drafted them. He got them. Yeah.
I mean, Andre Iguodala, was it his call to hire Steve Kerr? Because Steve Kerr had never been a coach before.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if these was all his moves. I'm being honest with you.
He maintained.
Mark Jackson has something to do with Clay and Curry. I'm pretty sure being drafted.
He might have. I mean, he maintained the dynasty though. Oh wait, I don't think Mark Jackson was the coach when Curry got drafted, right?
No, he was not.
Yeah, Mark Jackson was the coach
when
from
his
2011.
His second year.
Okay.
His second year.
Are you sure
Okay.
it wasn't his third year?
How
many years did Mark Jackson coach the Warriors? It's either 3 years or 4 years. I feel like his first game coaching was Chris Paul's first game as a Clipper. I could be wrong on that though.
3 years.
From 2011 to 2014.
There you go. So 3 years. So Steph Curry's first 2 years were without him. So I don't know if he had anything to do with. Yeah, go ahead.
And the 2011-2012 season, I think, is Bob Myers' first season. And that year is the Draymond draft. So I think his first picks are Harrison Barnes and Draymond Green.
Draymond.
Yeah.
Well, he did strike gold in Draymond. We can't lie. For a second rounder, I mean.
I agree.
Yeah. And I think, bringing in Andre Iguodala was a great move. And then Sean Livingston.
Sean Livingston,
yeah. And the way he made all those contracts work, like, I think Bob has done a really good job. Even Jordan Poole. I mean, look what that turned into. They got a ring, but I think, Fabian, you kind of alluded to it, but didn't necessarily exactly say it. But this move showed us they chose Draymond Green over Poole. It's very clear they didn't want to play with each other anymore. The vibes were off all season.
Yes.
And you could see Poole's confidence was fucked up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You can't just he got way worse all of a sudden. That's just not how that works. Unless you think that he just got a bag and he stopped working out and stuff. I don't believe that. I really think that Poole is a player that wants to be really good. I just think that he got the money. I think he got his ring. He wanted to play a little bit more, have a bigger role, and his role was consistently changing. Like he averaged 25 points when he started, and then he has to come off the bench, be the sixth man. It felt like it was all over the place, and at the same time, doesn't seem like he felt like he was well liked by the team.
But I also think that the Bob Myers thing is like, remember, he's attached to the hip with Draymond Green, and when he left, that to me put Draymond up in the air with Golden State even more so, and he gave him more leverage. But I think they really viewed Draymond as a true leader, because if not, they wouldn't have traded Jordan Poole. And now you got CP3 coming there. Bob Myers. I don't want to say he architected everything. I think that's the problem on AllBall. Like when you say he gets too much credit, that's what winning looks like. Like when we look at the Bulls, that's why I never liked about when Jordan gets all the credit. But dog, that guy Jerry Krause did a heck of a job over there. In the face of Jerry Randolph, he's an idiot owner. He owned the White Sox. He made a lot of mistakes. So it's not just the general manager. You got the general manager they don't even rock with. Jordan, these guys are making fun of him. With the Bulls, they didn't get along, Phil Jackson. So why does Bob Myers at the top of the hill, why does he get credit? Because imagine he had to deal with all this. He banked on Draymond all these years. In the face of all of us, it's like, yo, this guy might have cost you championships. What if they could have won? In our opinion, maybe 5. They really lost that one against the Cavs when he kicked LeBron in the nuts. He banked on Draymond. So I think there's something to that. As much as I don't know if let's say I wouldn't want Draymond on the Knicks per se, but with Bob Myers it makes sense because he can really help them out. You can't not give them credit when they won 4 championships and been to 6 finals. Who else has had that run? It's been the Miami Heat, and they had two different stars in 2 different eras. This has been the Steph Curry show with Bob Myers and them.
Yeah, and they also traded for Wiggins was a great move.
Was a great move. See, here's my thing with OG getting with what AllBall said. Now is the time to really find out who Bob Myers really is. Like, we ain't got to worry about if he's overrated. Once he gets another job, then we'll figure out who's who. You know what I'm saying? Because having Steph, having Clay, them ascending into who they are, that just makes you look more and more like a genius, right? Like you just being able to move those chess pieces. So wherever he lands, he's got a clean slate. So now we can get back and sit back and watch how he drafts, how he develop, who he puts in line to develop talent, how he mix and matches guys, how he helps with lineups and shit like that. So I think, I don't know if we should call him overrated yet, OG. I think we should wait till he gets into another spot, and then we'll see what he does.
No problem with that. I had no problem with that. None at all. But just real quick before we get off this topic, I think unless Golden State makes a major move, not saying that they need a Kevin Durant, but I honestly think Chris Paul is not enough. I don't think the core that they have is not enough. I'm a big Klay Thompson fan. But I think Draymond Green took 2 steps back as far as being older. I don't think he's impactful how it used to be. Because look at the West now, man. They need another guy. They need another guy. And then, unless they get that other guy, I would be surprised if they're in the top 5 in seedings in the West.
What kind of other guy? We're talking about a star?
Yes, so I wouldn't mind seeing them. They may need like a Chris Middleton, something like that.
So you move Wiggins to the bench?
He's opted out. So if you want
to, no, Wiggins doesn't have to move. Why does Wiggins have to move to the bench?
Who are you going to move to the bench? Because I don't think Klay Thompson's gonna.
You don't have to move anybody to the bench.
Bring Middleton to the bench.
You got Curry at the 1. You got Klay at the 2. You got Wiggins at the 3. You got Who I just said?
Draymond.
Wiggins.
No, Wiggins at the 3. I just said his name from Milwaukee.
Draymond and Looney.
Draymond and Looney.
Right. Draymond
Oh, you want to start?
Now,
You want to start Middleton?
Yeah, I'm bringing Looney off the bench.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Draymond playing the 5 the whole season starting? I don't know.
bro. I'm just saying
they would make that adjustment probably by game 5. By game 5 of the season, when they're getting killed on the glass, like I don't know if you could sit a guy that could go get you 20 rebounds.
He might be the best rebounder in the NBA.
Yeah, I don't know. I hear what you're saying because now
I don't know about that.
Now you add more scoring, but I don't know if I could sit Looney knowing that I don't even have like who's Looney's backup right now? Think about that.
They don't have nobody.
None.
That's what I'm
you don't
saying.
have none.
Who's his backup?
But I think all Ball's point is that Golden State is missing something. Like Clay and Draymond are a year older.
Well, I think personally that I think one of Clay or Draymond, probably Clay if I'm being real, because I think what Draymond does is very important for them. I think Clay should come off the bench. I think he's a shot hunter now that doesn't hit the same way he used to. He's not the same defender.
But Dom,
how do you sell that? Tim,
come off the bench for who, Dom?
Come on now.
If you bring Middleton in, I'm saying. If you bring Middleton in, I'm saying.
I could not I could not like.
You can't get him to come off the bench.
Put my mind around.
He doesn't deserve to come off the bench. No.
Yeah,
but if you're gonna ride with, then you're not gonna be able to convince any of these guys to come off the bench. Looney and Wiggins would say yes, but bringing your best defender off the bench.
All right. You know what I would do if I'm Golden State, which I'm not. I would trade Wiggins in another piece, and I would go get Ayton.
If they lose Wiggins, they're not gonna be able to guard.
They need size though, man.
They need some defense.
I would think about that. I would try to hold on to Wiggins and see if they don't if Phoenix doesn't want Wiggins in that deal.
Bro, if the Suns get Andrew Wiggins, oh my God, he's gonna be somebody that he'll guard all the best players. It's gonna be terrible.
That would be a beautiful piece for them.
To me, it's a win-win for everybody, unless you can get rid of Kuminga, some other players, which I doubt Phoenix is gonna want. But I'm just saying, for me, I can be wrong. Remember, I'm not right. I don't mind being wrong. I'm just saying, I think unless Golden State get that good player, you got Memphis that just got Marcus Smart. The Lakers is too big for them. They already proved it. Denver is a powerhouse.
Right.
Let's be realistic. If the Clippers is healthy and they bring back Kawhi and Paul George, let's be realistic.
Phoenix is going to be right there.
Right. Phoenix, if Zion and them get it together. So, I know it's a lot of ifs, but I'm just saying, to me, forget Sacramento.
Sacramento will be back.
So they got to make a move, Dom. I'm sorry, and I think what they have now, unless Steph Curry can rewind back to unanimous MVP Steph Curry, I don't see them being a threat in the West no more. I think it's over.
See, you're saying it's go ahead.
Let me jump out the window real fast, Dom. And I think I said this to Fabian off mic, but Giannis is a free agent in 2025. He could opt out in 24, I think, this coming summer. So next summer, right? If anywhere I see him aside from Milwaukee, it is absolutely Golden State. Just the culture, just how they move, just how they operate, winning, all that type of shit. I could absolutely see him being there. Like I said, let me jump out the window real fast. But if they're gearing up for him being free, I think Golden State has the biggest shot at going after Giannis in a year or two.
I just checked his contract.
His player option is
it's not. Yeah, so he's on a contract guaranteed for 2 more years.
Oh, so, okay. So his opt out is what, 25?
Yeah,
26.
Oh, 26. Oh, okay. So that don't even matter. I thought he could opt out. I thought he could opt next summer and then be fully free 25.
2 summers from now, he can opt out.
Okay.
Going into the 2025-26.
Nah, that's too far. That's too far.
Yeah,
that's too far. That's too far.
But see, AllBall is saying it's Steph Curry playing at a unanimous MVP level. That's not it to me, man. Klay Thompson's not an all-star anymore. I love Klay Thompson, but he's not. You guys see his defense is not the same. Is not the same, and his offense is around the same. But look, in the playoffs, there's nothing to say. He just missed a bunch of shots. I don't know what else to say about it. But his defense is not. He's had 2 major injuries back to back. Like, and Draymond, it feels like every single game comes down to, is Draymond going to look at the basket tonight? It feels like every playoff game comes down to that. When Draymond's aggressive looking at the basket, they get better looks. When he's not, you're playing 5-on-4 on offense. Sometimes even 5-on-3, because Looney is a great rebounder, though, but he's not an offensive threat.
I'm going to say something.
I want to go back to what y'all said, though. Go ahead. No, ruffle the feathers. Hold on. We're going to see the feathers ruffling.
Yeah. Curry, step up. Simple. It's your team. Hold. Let me finish. Hold. This is your team. You're the greatest thing since sliced bread, we all say. Put them on your back and get it done. I'm tired of hearing excuses. Hold on. This was LeBron. This was KD. This is anybody else. I don't want to hear nothing. But this is my problem with Golden State. This is why I get a lot of flack and a lot of pushback, but I don't care. This is why I say that dynasty is flawed. Because look at the players that they need to succeed. We all agree they need a big piece to succeed. Just like they needed Kevin Durant. Now, give them last year they won. I'm not going to Curry. Get it done. And y'all got it done.
I'm jumping in right there, old boy. Because what I'm hearing, right, is Steph Curry, miniature, smaller guard, go get it done. Only two guards in NBA history that we all know have gotten it done by themselves, but relatively by themselves, and being smaller guards. That's Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas.
Now stay there. No.
Okay.
Do we all agree? Is he better than Isaiah Thomas?
I would say so.
I would say so. My opinion on that is not very what's it called? It doesn't matter what I say. I haven't watched Isaiah Thomas play one full series.
Nah, it does. It does. We'll keep it simple. We'll keep it simple. We'll keep it simple.
Better because he's Steph Curry.
Hold on. But we'll keep it simple. Whether you think he's better or not, more skilled, whatever. He's been more dominant in his era than Isaiah was in his era. That's the fact. There's no denying.
Some people have him in a top 10 already. Some have him as the greatest point guard ever. Now remember, I'm not knocking him. I'm a Curry fan. I'm just speaking real. Some have him top 10 already. He's the greatest shooter of all time. Some have him better than Magic Johnson, even though we don't agree, but we've heard it. Some people have him the greatest point guard ever. Go out and get it done.
I'm with Flea on this. I'm with Flea. It's the same thing we were talking about, Flea. Some people ain't built for that. Like, he's been getting hurt. Come on now.
It's just you can't expect him at 6'2", 6'3" to then say, because we asked LeBron to do it, a oversized, powerful, you know what I mean? His size imposes a certain, just aside from his skill, just his size imposes. Kevin Durant, his size imposes, like all of these guys, Shaq, any guys that we could name. There's only two. And AI could have been 3 and he couldn't get it done. He got 1 and it was like, yeah, that's it. They showed him. And hold on.
How long did they really have a high level play for? Like, Steph Curry's been this has been a high level of play for 10 years, bro. He's been getting injured, but he's still relevant. He's not playing 60 games like this. I'd rather what you need to do. He's older. They have to. Klay Thompson does not have 50 games of old Klay Thompson. He has like 2 of them. And you want to save that for the playoffs. Y'all hit it on the nose earlier for me. If you get Middleton or something like that, Steve Kerr always says this. What coach has the cojones to talk to the player and go, sit down? He convinced Andre Iguodala. They can always point to Ray Allen when he was past his prime. Yo, we need you to come off the bench. You got to play a lesser role. Go to Miami, play a lesser role. He was in that category. You were a Ray Allen type. But now you are no longer that guy, Klay. We need you to have way less of a role in his game now. Remember, they're trying to make him they're already trying to make him take less money right now because he's not that guy anymore. So if you get Middleton or anything of that, I think you guys already solved the riddle. Klay Thompson got to come off that damn bench.
Wow. It's very different from what they were during the height of their dynasty as it is now. When they was at the top of their dynasty, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, Leandro Barbosa, Andrew Bogut, they had a lot of guys over there that at the time in the NBA were considered veteran guys, right? This team is very different. It's composed of a lot of younger guys. So now the vets are the Klay Thompsons, Steph Currys, Draymond Greens, right? So them older guys, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, all those guys, they took a lot of pressure off of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, all of them. They allowed them to, get to where they was. Now they where they are. And these older guys are trying to pull along these young guys, and these young guys just ain't good yet. We call it what it is. They're just not good yet. So they got to do some tweaking. And I know the league is a lot younger, but they got to do some tweaking on trying to get some more experience. I wouldn't say older guys because that's hard to find, but some guys that's been through the fire, that's been in the trenches. Shit, if they could have got Marcus Smart, that would have been great. Somebody like him. You know what I'm saying? They need something over there.
And take Looney, take Kuminga, take somebody else, go get Ayton.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
Last question on this topic. Someone said, who's better right now? Serious question. Clay or Poole? And then who's better the year after?
I'm not even answering nothing like that. I will not disrespect Klay Thompson ever in my life like
that. I can answer it. Right now, Jordan Poole is probably better. If they're playing one-on-one in practice right now.
He's playing better basketball. Jordan Poole was grossly inefficient last year. Averaging 20 looks good, but he wasn't very efficient. The championship year, he was a lot better.
Yo, AllBall, what you just say? You seen something in the front row at the BET Awards? I'm gonna pull something like that at practice and put 20 down on Jordan Poole against Klay Thompson one-on-one in practice. What you talking about, dog? Let's get you hyped up. He's better than Klay Thompson right now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But you spoke about the better.
I'm not even listening.
I understand.
I don't even hear that.
You got to hold down the old man, the gray hair. You got to hold the gray hair. We got to hold us down. But it's been a half hour with Golden State. Enough of them. All them veterans. You mentioned DeAndre Ayton. Can he stay in Phoenix with that Bradley Beal deal and do something? Beat Denver more than 2 games in the upcoming playoffs of this season. Where do you see this Bradley Beal thing going?
Championship or bust. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how nobody feel. When you got 3 players of this magnitude, I don't care who else is on the court with them. Us 4 should be able to play with them. Listen, if we have some guys have Kevin Durant top 10 all time, top 15. We know right now some people have him top 5. So let's speak real. He's top 5 in the league. Booker is the greatest shooting guard in the league right now, and Bradley Beal is arguably probably top 5 shooting guard, all on one team. They have Ayton, who was the number 1 pick. I don't care how nobody feel about him. He's a number 1 pick, and he's solid. He's not no bum. He's not trash. This team is championship. Right, of course, I agree with that. But he also has to have the opportunity to get better. Give him the ball, run some plays for him. But let's be realistic. Y'all can go championship or bust. I'm not backing down from that. And if they don't win, or it goes to at least the finals and you lose in 6-7 competitive games, I have smoke for all 3 of them, especially Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. Championship or bust.
Fair enough. You want my take on the Beal thing?
Yes, please.
I think it's an upgrade over Chris Paul, but I still feel like it's kind of redundant to me. It's 3 guys that are really good scorers, 3-level scorers, but are all very jump shot reliant to me. KD was not really getting to the rim like that in the playoffs. Booker was. Beal here and there, but it's a lot of jump shots. Beal and Booker, they score in very similar ways, and they're going to be so hard capped now, besides that with the supporting cast. I think it's an improvement. But my thing is this, I'm not worried about people being too selfish. If anything, I'm worried about people being too unselfish, and then it's just you'll have games with KD shooting 12 shots. I don't like when KD shoots 12 shots. I think KD should be shooting 15+. But is Beal going to be shooting only 11 to 12 shots? They're all going to be playing in the flow of the game. But then you before you know it, it's the third quarter, and you've not gained much separation, and Beal's only shot 9 times in the game. He's going from being a first option the last 5 years scoring-wise to third. I get from going first to second, but now he's third. I just feel like it's a weird adjustment. I just think that their defense won't get any better. I think that their ceiling is the conference finals, but I don't see them going anywhere past that. But partially because I'm not as high on KD as a lot of people. I'm very high on Booker, but I think KD's aged a little bit. And he's still amazing. I still think he's a top 10 player in the league, maybe even top 5. I know that was a conversation that was very popular this week, but I don't think it makes sense. It doesn't make me, if I'm the Denver Nuggets, right? I'm not scared that they got Beal. I'm not.
I'm a little different with you, Dom. I feel what you're saying, but I just remember when John Wall got hurt, right? Towards Achilles or something. He had a really bad injury with Washington, and they had to put the ball in Brad's hands. Now, a lot of the times when John was the point guard, John would pass for an assist, not pass to move the ball, right? If he's passing, you're going to get a basket out of the pass. I'm a guy that likes point guards that just move the ball just to move the ball, get that hockey assist, right? And Brad was that type of guy. Everybody eats. I don't know if y'all remember that term he was talking, everybody eats, where he became the ball handler. So for me, him going in that position where he's the third option now, taking that role of everybody eats, kind of facilitating, getting everybody involved, because I think Brad is very capable of doing that. The last time that we saw Brad Beal play 50-plus games, 65-plus games, he led the league in scoring. So you know he could fill it up. But I feel like he's the guy that they need to put in a position to facilitate, because he's also a guy that if KD ain't hitting, Book ain't hitting, Brad, go get me 40 tonight. I need 40 tonight. And he's capable of going to get that. So I think that like AllBall is saying, the ceiling for them is championship. You know, they got to fill out that roster. They got to fill out their depth. Last thing I want to say about them is to combat what you're saying, Dom, about them getting better defensively. I just think adding Vogel, they're going to be better defensively. Just
you can be right about that. You can be right about that.
Just adding him as the coach. I don't know who's going to be better, how they step up and all that type of shit. But just adding Vogel and him knowing I'm not going to have to implement too much offense, but I got to get this team to defend. I think they're going to be just fine.
The only thing looming over Phoenix right now is I read a report that Isaiah Thomas might be their general manager, something like that soon. That was crazy. They better not.
No. Hold on. I heard that already. I heard this. I heard he behind the scenes like doing some things.
He's a consultant. You know how Jerry West be, jumping around and doing his thing. That's how they got Zeke in there. And watch your job, James Jones. Watch your job.
Well, but I think he's done a great job in terms of creating a super team. And I agree with AllBall, what you guys said, championship or bust, but fully healthy. And Dom knows I'm not a Booker guy, but he proved a lot to me this past playoffs. I didn't see that coming out of him, pause. But for him to be the number one guy like that, he only didn't perform because he was exhausted, in my opinion. But if he's going to be your number one, they were missing the third wheel because DeAndre Ayton is soft, mentally weak, everything. But now you got Beal in there to Flea's point. He can be your third wheel, sometimes your two, sometimes your number one. And on top of that, off the ball, Beal moves pretty well. You got another guy who can move off the ball pretty well with Phoenix. You know me, I don't love super teams or nothing like that. And Flea hates when I say this. I never liked the Miami Heat offense, no matter how high they were rated when they had LeBron and all these superstars over there in Miami. They didn't fit together to me well. They fit together to me in Phoenix. This fit when you can move off the ball like this and Booker moves the way that he does and he gets the ball off. The fact that he's been playing with Chris Paul this long. Remember, Chris Paul gave them nothing these playoffs. If he would have given them something, they were a legit threat to Denver. They beat them twice. We forget that. They beat them twice. So they got something going on over there. And they eventually pulled through against, the Kawhi-less Clippers and everything. But I love that fit if they're healthy. Like, in terms of super teams for next year, I think they got it. And that Frank Vogel thing was major. I forgot about that, please.
This is my only pushback. Actually, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Doc, because I want to ask the panel a question once you get your point across.
I'm just thinking to myself, this would be the first of this kind of thing working to me. Like, we've never seen, because it's only been the last 6 or 7 years where we have two players of the same exact position playing with each other, because it's positionless basketball now, right? So it's just a matter of, wings, bigs, and guards. But we've never seen three players that are score first. These guys are all decent passers. Booker is much improved. KD's improved. Beal is not bad by any means. I wonder who you guys would think is the best passer. I think Booker might be, but out of the three, but none of them are too strong in that department, right? Like they don't have a true playmaker passer. I've never seen a team with 3 score first wings as their best players win a championship ever. I don't think that's ever happened before. And I already have my doubts about the Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum duo, and then my duo over here, because it can be very just your turn, my turn, because they won't play. Like, yeah, Fabian is right. They can move off the ball a little bit and all that, but it's not like a big and a guard. You know, like they can run pick and rolls together and stuff like Jokic and Murray, Shaq and Kobe. But yeah, what do you guys think of that? It's just, I'm not saying they can't win the championship, but we've never seen this work.
I think that, and I want to ask y'all. KD spends 3 years in Golden State, right? They make it to the finals, really, 3 years in a row. He gets hurt that third run. My question to y'all though, implementing what Golden State does, just stylistically in terms of basketball, if KD was to bring some of that mindset, some of the things that Steve Kerr implemented in arguably a time where he played some of his best basketball in his career, why not take some of that from that time and bring it over to Brooklyn, bring it over to Phoenix, right? I know KD is not the uber leader that we would love, but implementing a Golden State style offense with what Phoenix has right now, they would win 60 plus games this year if they played like that. I just wanted to hear y'all thoughts on if KD was to just speak up and say, hey, let's start implementing some of the stuff that we did in Golden State to get easier looks for me, Book, and Bill.
I think that's a great question, but I think I know the answer too. I don't think he wants to play that way. I think that's part of the reason why he left. And partially, why would they want to get rid of Kenny Atkinson? That's a good offensive mind that was on the Warriors staff, and bring in Steve Nash, who, like, if anything, if there's any offensive system Steve Nash knows, it's the D'Antoni system. That's the opposite of the Steve Kerr ball movement and stuff. In my opinion, KD is okay playing this way. Like, he seems to want to play the hard way. That's my take on that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, but Flea, I'm glad you asked that. My thing is this. This is why I give Kevin Durant a lot of flack. He can say all he wants. I don't care about legacy, and I don't care about GOAT conversation, this and that. But this is what we do. And before we was born, people argued and talked about basketball. And I'm pretty sure when he was young, they argued and spoke about their best players. So it's only right that, this is what we love to do. If you can't get it done, I have a problem with that. You are the older, more veteran, seasoned player with the most experience. You have the rings. You're supposed to be leading these guys to the promised land. Flea, that was a great question. And I always said, every team that KD puts together, it's like an almost mini semi-Golden State-ish with the 2 players that he links up with. So you have right now your Booker and you have your Clay and your Steph. Now, I'm not saying either one is as great as Steph.
Right.
But how do you not get this done? How do you not take what you did in Golden State, like you said, and implement that, bring these guys together, speak to them as the eldest that you are, the better player that you are? They're going to respect you, and bring this thing together and bring it home. This is why I give him flack. And I would love to talk to him one day, because I'm not going to back down. As far as like, yo, when you say we look at the games, no. We think you're great. We think your skill set is top, whatever. But at times, it doesn't amount to wins. It doesn't amount to a championship when it should. KD's skill set should every year be in contention for championships. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. I agree
so
with that.
I agree with what you said. And this is why I say, if they don't win a championship, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, listen, for him, look.
Because Fabian, think about this though, right? in present time, right? We got a lot of guys that have platforms, right? Everybody, Pat Bev, Paul George, KD got the boardroom, right? Just think about 5 to 10, 8 years from now, right? These guys are done playing, right? And now you're embarking on your media part of your career, which I'm sure you ain't start this boardroom shit for no reason. You're gonna have to answer some tough ass questions, man. You're gonna and this is from your peers. Fuck us. This is from your peers, people that you have played with. If you're gonna want to expand this broadcast media, platform that you're building, you're gonna have to answer tough questions. And everybody's not gonna approach you, KD, like, yo, you won those 2 back-to-backs and that's it. No, nigga.
Hold on, y'all, real quick.
Ball a few times.
Hold on. Y'all want to see something? Look, my son's 17, right? Chuck him, say what up, man. This is family, right?
Yo, what up? Baby old boy. He look just like you.
Look, give him, please, y'all, give him 2 minutes. Remember, this is his generation. When you and your friends talk, how do y'all feel about Kevin Durant?
He's one of the best scorers.
That's it?
He's one of the best in his generation. He's unguardable, yeah.
None of y'all have no problem with him not winning more rings? No? So y'all younger generation, y'all don't even care about rings.
I mean, we do care about rings, but I don't think he has nothing to prove.
See? Look, he ain't got nothing to prove. So this team here that they have constructed with Bradley Beal going there, how do you feel about that?
I don't think he's going to work out.
Why not?
Because they got Devin Booker and Bill and KD. They got 3 top scorers, so I don't think he's going to work out.
That's from the youth, man. Look, they don't care about rings.
I agree with him. I agree
with him. He can't complicate that at all. Like,
he said they're gonna win. He said.
No, he said he doesn't think they're going to win. He said because they're 3 top scorers and it's not going to work.
Oh, okay.
So I agree with him.
Like
you said it was seamless.
Right, but hold on. When y'all, I'm gonna let 2 seconds because I like to hear like the younger dudes. When y'all talk about basketball, who's y'all top 5 that y'all love?
That we love?
Yeah.
I don't know, but for me, I'll say I'm like KD, Curry, Ja, Luka, and Westbrook.
Westbrook. No Kyrie?
I love that.
No Joker.
No, but that's honest. The first couple names that came out was honest. He ain't have to. He said Westbrook. See? He said Westbrook. I love that from a 17-year-old, like loving Westbrook still. I love that.
Yeah.
But I agree with him. I think it depends on your team setting and everything like that. And I see in his mind, in their mind, they're not gonna be a super defensive team. How are they gonna win? So I get that. And that whole thing about him, like, I don't think Steph Curry getting another championship puts him on a different level. I just think him competing the way that he's supposed to puts him on a different level. I don't expect Kevin Durant is not a.
If Steph Curry get another chip, that puts him on another level. I don't know what you talking about, bro.
Right? No, because but again, I always say this. It all depends on his team. If his team ain't ready, how's he gonna win? If Kevin Durant, he's not that type A, proven that. He's not out there to be that competitive mentally. He's not that guy. That ship already sailed for me. Like, there's no way I'm starting a team with Kevin Durant before Steph Curry right now. It's not supposed to be an argument, but it's not gonna happen. So him being in Phoenix, you got 3 guys that are really like number 2s to me. All 3 of those guys are number 2s. In reality, they're not a real type A guy.
That's excessive. Kevin Durant took his team to the finals. Devin Booker they both took his team in the finals. I know they both.
Hold on. You think Kevin Durant is a number 2?
He's a number. You saw what he did what happened when he was on OKC and Golden State was able to guard him the way that they did. What happened last when they got swept by the Boston Celtics? If you're a number 1, you don't get dealt with like that. You just don't.
That OKC series, when they came back from 3-1 down, Don was just talking about Clay missing shots in this past playoffs. That is literally exactly what happened to Kevin Durant in that series. Golden State did nothing different. They didn't scheme different. They didn't put any different defenders on them. He was kicking their ass the first 4 games, and the last 3, he just go look at the shooting percentages, Fabian. He just missed shots.
That's great,
well, not
but
Cephalo, excuse me, but Sean Livingston and Iguodala and the Draymond Green weren't stopping him. Like he just missed a lot of shots, and Russell
it's
Westbrook
not.
turned the ball over.
It's too coincidental. Russell Westbrook's not a number one. Like certain guys, but physically, you can get like Steph Curry physically is not a number one because they can really outplay him. But the fact that he moves off ball changes everything. Once again, Kevin Durant, what did he do off ball? That changes everything. That's the difference between Kyrie and Steph Curry and James Harden. All these guys, they move off ball. That's the difference between Michael Jordan at the beginning of his career and the second half of his career. He moved the whole ball. It changed everything as a scorer.
I think KD moves off ball, but I think that it's not it's very dependent on what system he's into. He's not one of those guys that's just going to always move spontaneously, which I agree with you on that, Fabian, but I don't think he's a number two.
Dom, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think KD, or everybody can answer, I want Dom to answer first, though. Do you think KD should have had more finals appearances instead of what he has now after his time in Golden State?
Oh, after his time in Golden State?
Yes, because after Golden State,
okay. Let's take a look at it.
I think he's only been to one conference finals.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. The first year, he was injured. That first year, Brooklyn didn't play. Second year, he was out a lot of the regular season, but in the playoffs, he was playing. Like, I think the Milwaukee series was the most I've ever seen KD like combat physicality ever. Like, I was like shocked at how well he was playing. Not really shocked, but I was just like, yo, like this guy post Achilles. Like he's still.
It was a heavyweight. It was a heavyweight fight, Dom, because Giannis was going at them, and it was a heavyweight fight. Yeah,
but I also think even though Giannis was a beast, and Giannis admitted it himself, but I think Kevin Durant looked like the best basketball player in that series. Mm-hmm. Because if he just has Kyrie Irving, not even James Harden, if he just has Kyrie Irving for the whole series, I think they probably would have won. Yeah. I mean, they were 2-1 with them. I know it's a what if, Fabian. I know it's a what if, but it was looking that way. They were beating them very handedly.
They was up 50.
Yeah.
50 in one game.
I will give the Bucks credit, though. They won the third game fair and square. But, of course, they weren't going to go down 3-0. I don't think anyone expected that team with Drew Holiday, Giannis, and Middleton to go down 3-0. But that I don't blame KD for that series. I really don't. His players went out and he played so hard. Do you blame him for that all ball?
No, well, it's not. Well, okay, I'm not really hit.
Yeah.
All right, no, right, all right. Well, answer the question. I'm not really here to blame him for anything. I'm just saying, for me, with his skill set and where some of us rank him and talk about him, he should have more finals appearances. Well, that's just being honest. Ever since Golden State. Like I said, man, he's not in contention for nothing. Not MVP votes. Nothing.
But the last 4 years, OG, like Dom said, first year he's hurt. Second year they're right there, but Kyrie and Harden, they right there. Right. So that's 1 year.
Right.
The third year, you can't say nothing about. They got swept by Boston, so we can't even make no excuses for that. He was just bad. Go ahead, Dom.
I was going to say, let me ask you this, AllBall. But now that we're at the third year. You said that the first 2 years we can't really get on him for too much because he played really well in the 2021.
Okay, right.
But the year with Kyrie last year, my only thing with KD is this: he was playing a literally MVP level basketball before he got hurt. My thing is the only thing you could have said is he should have. The only thing you can say is tell Kyrie Irving, if you don't play, bro, like you're holding us back. Like you are like I want you traded. Like that's the only thing he could have done to me. Or literally give him the vaccine himself. Like, because otherwise it's like, Kyrie, you have a player that important that's not playing. The whole season was shrouded in this conversation about Kyrie. So bad to the point where Harden left. And we all got on Harden in the beginning for it. Now, I'm included in this. We got on Harden to quit it.
And I went too hard about the physicality and all ball thing because that really was the point I was trying to get to is that he's not a type A personality. He's not a type A kind of leader. He's not going to be in your face. And you don't have to be in anybody's face, but you have to make it crystal clear to your everybody around you. Yo, I'm trying to win. He doesn't make that clear. To go from I'm an MVP caliber kind of guy to it doesn't matter. I don't care about all that stuff. How can you say the words I don't care and your job is to compete? That's insane.
Well, let me just say this, and I'm gonna leave the Kevin Durant thing alone for me. Because I don't want to seem like I'm bashing Kevin Durant because I actually love the guy. I love watching him play, love his skill set. Dirk Nowitzki got it done. They said that's one of the hardest routes to the NBA championship that some people has ever seen. Allen Iverson got it done. I seen.
But when you say that he got it done, he got to the finals. But there's a difference between winning and getting there. Dirk Nowitzki won.
And Chuck gets too much love for just getting there. Let me just say that out loud.
All right, but hold on.
Nah. All balls cooking. All balls cooking. He's talking about mentality. He's talking about heart.
Y'all cut me off because I know I'm smoking. Yeah. Don't do that. Right?
Okay, you ain't being slick right now. Okay.
I seen no. I'm being for real. I seen one of my favorite guys, Dame Lillard, get to the Western Conference Finals with that roster. No disrespect to that roster because they all way better than me. And I wish I could have played in the NBA. My point is this. Kevin Durant, to some people, is better than all those players. He's had teams either just as good or better. Get it done. Get it done. I'm tired of hearing you need a bench. You need this. Bruh, you one of the best that we've ever seen. Same thing I feel about Steph Curry. I'm saying for 1 year, no excuses. I don't want to hear who's the coach. I don't want to hear they didn't have a bench. If you're healthy, put the team on your back and get it done.
But that's not who he is. But that's not who he is. Like, how can we? Are we really? If you're the general manager,
I'm gonna stop talking about him as if he's one of the greats. Then I'm with those conversations.
Let me ask AllBall a question. Go ahead, Fabian.
Yeah, exactly. He's a great. He's saying he's one of the greats, but he's not. There is that legendary. Look at Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's not supposed to be in the same conversation as you ever, but because he has that it factor, he's gonna go. He's an overachiever. Kevin Durant doesn't have overachiever in him, in my opinion. He just doesn't.
But all time, that's not even that. All time, that's not a conversation. Jimmy Butler, Kevin Durant. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't think
okay, that's fine. All balls thing is again. It's about competing. When he's saying, for me, when you're asking Steph Curry to compete for you in that manner, the only thing stopping Steph Curry is injuries. That's it. Because if not, he's going out there every game and he's trying his best. He's trying to win. That's not it for Kevin Durant for me. He doesn't approach every side of the game like that. It seems like Steph Curry is very competitive off the court, on the court. He was there to block Jordan Poole in the middle of the huddle. Like, don't talk to Draymond like that. Get in the game. He seems like a leader. Kevin Durant's leadership skills, it's a part of being this guy. It took. I like that I love that you brought up Dirk Nowitzki because it took him a while to get over that hump and be a leader like that on the court and show some heart. Really, we don't talk about that enough. Allen Iverson did not have a problem with his heart. Kevin Durant needs a heart transplant. We've been saying this. It's nothing new.
I don't. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dom. My bad.
No. You haven't talked in a while. Go ahead.
No, I just feel like he spends entirely too much time trying to convince us that he just cares about hooping. You are playing on the NBA professional level, and you are named with guys that love winning. You cannot keep trying to convince us that if y'all just have me playing out in Rucker, I will be fine. No, nigga, stop trying to play us like we don't know. You love basketball, and people that love basketball are competitive and they want to win. That is the one reason why we've been talking about Jimmy Butler for the last 3 months, because of his competitive nature, how he competes. He's not the best jump shooter. He doesn't have the best handle. He's not the best defender. Everything is effort and competing, and then everything just looks like it's to another level. So we got Kevin Durant. Stop that shit. When you see this, Flea talking to you. Stop trying to convince us that you just like hooping and you not competitive. Go out there and put a team on your back. Carry them. When it gets to May and June, give a fuck. Give a fuck. He gets into these little spaces where he tries to tell us and convince us that it's just basketball. Nigga, you making millions. Everybody loves to win. Stop that shit. So I feel what you're saying, AllBall.
No, you guys are. I'm 100% in agreement with all this about the mentality of him and how much that he doesn't. I'm not saying he doesn't like to win, but there's clearly the guys that we talk about. It feels like they want to win more than him, legitimately. Like he doesn't care that much anymore. If they lose, it is what it is. I'm just gonna go on with my life. I'm still gonna hoop. I'm still living the dream.
Dom, how is that okay for an all-time great?
That's why I made that comment.
I'm saying KD is like, we was having a conversation a couple weeks ago about how influential KD was. Like, did he influence an era? And me and OG was going back and forth about it. I don't know if he influenced the era, Flea. And I'm like, I think he did. But if this is a guy who influenced the era, why you don't give a fuck about winning? What are we talking about?
That's his personality. He just gives up. I think when the going gets tough, that's who he is. Remember, that's why we did not like the move from OKC to Golden State. That is the number one reason why we were like, yo, you just did that, dog? You just went to the team that beat you? Nah. You never on the court are supposed to go switch sides with the other team that just busted your ass. You bringing everybody back, taking your jersey off if you got to, taking your shirt off, and you're going to play ball and try to beat them. You don't join them. That's insane. That's who he is.
Fabian, check this out, y'all. OG, Dom. They lose to Miami in 5, right? That OKC, that first year. The first chip that LeBron gets, he gets it against Kevin Durant. They lose in 5. You watch KD go in the back, he falls in his mom's arms and he's crying and there's a lot of emotion, right? Because he lost. A couple years later, he wins that first championship in Golden State, Finals MVP. The first text message I got from a family member, right, that loves the game of basketball just like me. He said, hey, yo, Colin, it don't look like KD's even happy about winning this shit.
Look, y'all.
It don't even look like. And I tried to downplay it at that point. I was like, what are you talking about?
The fake LeBron pose.
I was like, what are you talking about? He won a championship. Of course he's happy. But as time, hindsight is 2020. So when you look back now, you like, I don't know. Of course, he might be happy, but how much did it mean to him is my point. Dom.
I wanna ask AllBall a question though before we finish off with the Boston trade.
Yeah.
That's our last one, right? The Boston trade.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you this, AllBall. We're gonna do what?
No, I mean out of all the trades. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna do a little exercise. I'm gonna name a year, and I want you to tell me if you think that they should have made KD's team should have made the finals if he had just played, to the ability that you think he should be playing at.
I like exercises like this. Go ahead, Dom.
Let's go.
So when we can all agree that when he was an 8th seed and they lost to the Lakers, he shouldn't have gone any further, right?
8th seed lost to the Lakers. That's his first year. That's
first
2010.
2010 in the
That's
playoffs.
2010.
Right?
I remember.
Okay, yes, I agree to that first year. Yes, I agree to that.
2011 made the conference finals, lost to the Mavericks. They were underdogs in that series. Are we going to get on him for not making the final? Okay.
No.
Third year, if anything, they upset San Antonio. I didn't think they were going to beat them. They were down 2-0 in the series and won 4 straight games. So he made the finals then. We can't, and they should not have beaten Miami. If LeBron had lost that finals.
I don't knock him for that. Knock him for that.
Okay. The 4th year, Westbrook had his meniscus torn by Beverly. They were the number 1 seed. They did everything right until that point. So we can't get on him for that. Can we?
Well, why not? What do you mean?
No, you expect him to beat Memphis without Westbrook?
Why not? Yeah, he's Kevin Durant. Yeah, no, hold on. Yeah, see, y'all
think about that Memphis team. Think about that Memphis team.
I don't care. Listen, y'all ask me. Hold on, you can't ask me a question. I'm giving you my answer. Now I have no. Hold on. I have no problem with him losing. But if you want me to be, no.
Go ahead, OG. I'm listening.
I have no problem with him losing. But if you want to ask me and want me to be honest, the 4th, 5th year, this is when players come into their own. Remember, now he's really Kevin Durant. We know what he be about.
Mm-hmm.
Put him on your back and win. But if you lose, I don't have no problem with that. But I'm not going to hold that against him. Go ahead, let's go to the 5th year.
Well, okay, let's say they beat Memphis though. That's that year. They're not beating San Antonio without Russ. That's like they just can't do it.
Okay,
I think in that year, San Antonio was really good.
What'd you say, Fabian?
But to AllBall's point, that season. Did Kevin Durant play to like did we see like did he gave it his own like Booker did this year? Did we see that kind of performance?
That's his MVP season. 2014 is an MVP season.
We're talking about the year before that.
Not the season.
The year before. My bad.
Not the season. In the play, did he go all out in the playoffs and give it like he's saying again? Iverson didn't win. It's not the fact that he won or not. It's the fact that did we see this inspiring play from him? I don't know. I don't remember that season. You tell me.
But fellas,
what did he look like in 2013 playoffs? Go ahead.
Well, hold on, y'all. But listen, my thing is this: up until Golden State, even when he won the 2 rings, I have no problem with Kevin Durant. I have no problem with him now. My point is this: you left Golden State, right? ever since you left Golden State, you've underachieved. Let's call it what it is. You've been to no finals. You've been to one conference finals. You've been swept. You ain't been in no MVP votings. You ain't have no great year. Let's call it what it is.
Wait. I want to keep going though.
Let's go.
All right. So 2013, we give him a pass because no Russ. 2014 is his MVP season. They were the second seed. San Antonio was first. They lost in the conference finals in 6 games. I feel like we never talk about this series, but I
have a problem with
San
that.
Antonio to win. Okay, you got a problem with that. Okay. Honestly, that one's a 50-50 series, so I want to hear your take on that.
San Antonio.
No James Harden.
No James Harden.
James Harden. That's the first year.
San Antonio team was ridiculous.
They were on a mission. They got beat
they were not going to
in 7 games the year before. That's the Ray Allen shot the year before. They was on a mission that 2014 season.
Okay, so I have no problem with that. All right, I have no problem with that.
And they had they had the super low level. James Harden was Kelvin Martin. Who I like Kelvin Martin, but come on now.
All right.
James
And
Harden.
that was, like I said, and that was saying in the powerhouse. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that.
He averaged I just looked at the numbers. He averaged 26 points, 8 rebounds in the series. Efficiency slightly below his average, but
what was his shoot? What is his splits? What did he shoot?
It's 47.5 from the field and 33 from 3.
That's below his.
Oh, I can't lie. Yeah, I can't lie.
I can't lie. Kawhi Leonard on him.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, that's when they played Steph Curry in the playoffs. San Antonio did.
Year after. This is the year after that.
Yeah. Because
the year before Steph Curry played them?
Right.
The 2014, the Clippers beat Golden State in 7. In 7. Yeah, they beat them in 7.
Okay. So either way, what I saw Steph Curry give to the San Antonio Spurs, I thought Kevin Durant was going to give back to the Spurs. And I didn't see that. And I'm just like, all right, I get the Kawhi thing, but nah. He's supposed to be unstoppable. So
hey Dom, please, let me ask y'all a question. Where's Jimmy Butler's moment against Boston, against Milwaukee? Where's Kevin Durant's moments like that?
I mean,
when he got to the finals in 2012 and they beat Dallas that year, I believe they beat Dallas in the playoffs that year, and Dallas is the defending champs that year.
Correct. Yeah,
and they beat Dallas. He was amazing that series. I mean, it's easily forgotten because it's so long ago, but he was amazing that series.
And don't forget the series after he outplayed Kobe and made a game winning.
And I was just getting there.
My bad.
Kobe beat them in 2010, and Kobe was telling them. He was telling the media. He was telling everybody that wanted to listen.
Remember? Yes.
I don't have this nigga figured out yet. And the only player that in the league that plays with my motor is Russell Westbrook. So I don't have Kevin Durant figured out yet on how to defend him. And Russell Westbrook is my clone. This is what Kobe was saying. So in the next year they come back and they smoked them. So he had a couple moments early on, but later on, what's his moment? Back-to-back game 3s in the finals against LeBron.
Okay.
Them shots that he hit was big shots.
Yeah, but we all can agree, like I said, with them Golden State team, that was inevitable. Like, I'm being honest, that was like cheating. Like, we kind of knew once that trade happened, the whole league just went in shambles. Like,
right.
There's no need. People said there's no need to even watch the games no more.
No, I know.
He leaves there.
It felt like
so
that.
I don't even want to put those Golden State years in that.
Fine. No, we're not even gonna. Okay, so do you blame? So you're okay with this? You're okay with the Spurs loss in 6 games in the conference finals?
Yes, I'm okay with that because that Spurs was a powerhouse. I'm okay with that.
2015, that was the year that he was injured more than any year.
He was hurt. He was hurt.
They didn't even make the playoffs, so you can't blame him there. 2016,
when he cracked his foot.
Right.
Yeah.
2016 blew a 3-1 lead. We can blame him on that one.
It's tough,
right?
You have to.
You can say that one. Then he goes to Golden State for 3 years, and now we're back to the current conversation. So now my final question to you, I'm gonna go get my food real quick, but answer it. Is the last 2 years, the Kyrie Irving, the year where that got swept by Boston, don't think they were going to make the finals, and then this season with Phoenix. Go ahead.
Now, here's where I'm going to disagree with y'all. When he went to Brooklyn and they assembled that team, everybody said he was going to the finals. All networks said it was Lakers Nets in the finals. So I disagree with Dom saying that. This Phoenix team, when that trade happened, I'm only going to speak for myself. I went berserk. Finals. We all say Kevin Durant we've all heard it. Kevin Durant is that one player people say that can fit anywhere. You plop him, it works. I'm not saying he's not great, but I'm going to be honest. When we talk about the Dirks, the Larry Bird, certain players, and I keep telling people, if Joker win a second ring, I'm sorry to say, a lot of dudes is about to be forgotten on some list. And Kevin Durant is going to be one of them. I keep saying this. As great as he is, his skill set should amount to either more finals appearances, more MVPs, or more championships. One of those three, should have happened within these last 4-5 years. And it hasn't happened.
Let me ask
I have a problem with that. Yes.
AllBall, Fabian, let me ask you a quick question. Do you feel like Larry Bird is a better player than Kevin Durant? This is flat out. You feel like Larry Bird is a better player than Kevin Durant?
Yes. I've always said that.
Oh, Fabian, you agree?
Peak for peak, yeah, better passer. Yeah.
Okay. And Dime, how are you feeling? You feel like Larry Bird is a better player than Kevin Durant?
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm very high on Larry Bird. I think he's a monster.
Okay. So, my question, right? Bird's never had to, but do we feel like Bird could put a team on his back and carry them to the promised land without a Parrish, without a McHale, without a Dennis Johnson? Is Bird capable of doing that? Would you have the same expectations for him to do that than you do?
But hold
Kevin
on,
Durant?
see. All right, but this is where we have to be fair, y'all. We're not saying Kevin Durant do it literally by yourself. He has pieces. So you can't say Bird can't have nobody. Like, this man's had Harden, he's had Kyrie. Right now he has Booker, Ayton, and CP3. Now he has Bill. So I don't want to say, I don't like when people say this. Well, no. He's had pieces. So do I think Larry Bird would have got it done without maybe one piece? Yes. Or even if you don't get it done, I'm saying I don't mind you getting to the promised land and losing. I don't mind you getting to the conference finals and it's a competitive 7 games and it goes down to the wire. I have no knock on you for that. But if you're not getting to either one, I have a problem with that, Flea. His skill set, his talent should amount to more MVPs, more finals appearances, or more finals. One of those 3 should have happened in the last 4 or 5 years, and they haven't happened. And it's said that it hasn't even come close. I have a big problem with that. I really do.
I haven't looked back at any one of those Boston games.
I'm not mad at you, OG, for real.
I haven't looked back at any one of them Boston games, and I'm not just talking about like what everybody echoes afterwards when they talk about Bird, refer to Bird, they were scared to death of him or whatever it is. There's just Bird is competitive, and the way he was beefing with Kevin McHale. Like he moved to the 3 for Kevin McHale. He's really a power forward, Larry Bird, and he moved to the 3. He's willing to do what it takes to win, and he has a no-nonsense approach. He said famously, "If I want to win, I take Kobe. If I want to have fun, I'll play with LeBron." Pause. But Kevin Durant, he doesn't have that in him. Like to allow Draymond to talk to you like that, I'm sorry. That's a part of being. He should have never let Draymond talk to him like that. Just like I feel like Shannon Sharp should never let Skip Bayless talk to him like that. Now, like you are the opposite of what I'm used to you being.
What do you want done in that moment?
Are you kidding me?
What do you want done in that moment?
Yeah, don't you ever like talking about you? Put him on the coach.
TV,
Yo,
what do you
coach,
want
bench
Shannon
him.
Sharp to do?
Coach, bench him. What are you talking about? Skip, do you know who I am?
On
live TV. Listen,
what did you want Shannon Sharp to do?
It doesn't matter who you are. I am that dude. Don't you ever in your life speak to me like that again. Are you forgetting the only reason why you're here? The only reason why we are here at this point at the pinnacle, whatever, is primarily because of moi. That's what Shannon Sharp is supposed to say. That is what Kevin Durant is supposed to tell Draymond Green. You called me, motherfucker, from the parking lot. What are you talking about? Don't you ever like disrespect me again?
I'm asking you. You still not answering my question.
I'm Kevin Durant. Larry Bird would have told Kevin. Can you imagine what Draymond? Please. Can you imagine what Larry Bird would have told Draymond Green? Are you kidding me right now? He's not playing these games. He's not talking to Larry Bird like that, as a matter of fact. He wouldn't dare. Larry Bird scrapping with you.
That's not happening.
Dog, all I'm telling you is we smell something on Kevin Durant. That's all I'm saying. We know it.
That's fine.
That's what we know. Larry, we don't smell that on Larry Bird. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Should we transition to the Celtics?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh,
That's
perfect segue. Love
Let's
it.
do it.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Boston. Oh man, they had a deal in place. Malcolm Brogdon was going to come to my Clippers. Fell through. Clippers are scared of Malcolm Brogdon's injury history or the recent forearm injury. And it would have been, just Brogdon leaving. Then Porzingis was going to go to Boston, and Washington was going to get Marcus Morris, Amir Coffey in the 30th pick that we had. Now it ended up being Marcus Smart, the longest tenured Celtic, to Memphis.
Love it.
Tyus Jones to Washington, Porzingis to Boston. So I don't know. Let's go to all ball first. Your initial thoughts on the trade from all the sides.
I think this trade between Boston and Memphis was a blessing in disguise for both teams. Let me explain why. I've been said, as much as I like Marcus Smart, he was the heartbeat of that team. He deboed his way into that point guard position. I don't know how he did that. So I think him leaving is good for the team offensively. Now, defensively, toughness, everything else, I don't know how it's going to work out. But I think offensively, he kind of held them back because he's not an official point guard. But him going to Memphis is perfect. That culture, that mindset, the way they are, the way they play, I think his skill set is perfect for over there. Grit, grime, tough, edgy, talk shit, back us against the world. Now, what Boston got back with Porzingis, I love it. I wasn't a big Porzingis fan when I was a Knick, but after watching them, and I watched some games, we watched some games and watched them in Washington. Porzingis is a good player, man. And what he's going to do for Boston, the way he's going to stretch that floor, they have 3 legit guys that can get a shot on their own, that can knock down the 3, that can spread the floor. And then you have a point guard in Brogdon that I think his mindset is he just wants to play, he wants to win, and I think he's into doing the right thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. So I think it was a blessing in disguise. I think Boston fans are going to be upset that Marcus Smart left because of who he was for them. But after a while, I think they're going to understand it was the best thing for the organization. I think his skill set was better coming off the bench for them. But I think now him being in Memphis is perfect. And I think Porzingis, to me, the only better spot for Porzingis would have been going back to the Knicks. I think him going back to Boston, I think this is going to be a real threat for a lot of guys in the East. I think that move knocked my Knicks and Miami all the way back down. That's just my opinion.
So all ball likes it for Boston. And do you think Marcus Smart, real quick before we go to Fabian, is going to help Memphis though? He's going to be basically replacing Dylan Brooks.
Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
yeah, I agree. Fabian?
Perfect.
The only thing I think all ball hit everything on the nose. Smart replaces Dylan Brooks. That's a major upgrade, but you lose the Tyus Jones thing, and you kind of like deal with Marcus Smart's knucklehead moves. You're gonna have 2 knuckleheads on offense though. Like John Moran makes a lot of mistakes on offense. I think he was always trying to dunk on somebody. But Porzingis in Boston, it's potentially scary, but I'm always gonna say that it's all on Tatum. Like if Tatum is playing his lackadaisical game, they're not going anywhere. And you just added somebody else that's Brown isn't getting. He can't even dribble with his left hand and go left still. Like that's crazy.
But that's a huge thing.
That's a huge thing. But that's what I'm saying. Tatum is the one with the utmost potential and skill in that team. And Porzingis, he's got. You know what he got better as he's been on the Knicks, and I loved him on the Knicks. He was the unicorn for real. But once he got hurt, he was done. His passing from the post, high post, low post, top of the 3-point key, he replaces Robert Williams and I think Horford, and he's more of a threat. You can't just lean off of him and sag as you taught me. Pause, dime dropper. You can't just sag off Porzingis. He's chucking on.
Hold on. Stay right there. I'm gonna let you finish. What Porzingis did, I'm so sorry because I don't want to forget this. It's very important when you get certain guys on your team. Now it puts everybody in their proper place. Now Al Horford can play the 4. Now Robin Williams, there's no pressure on him. So Porzingis puts everybody in their proper place. Now you have a legit 2 guard at Brown and a legit 3 at Tatum. So to me, that's what makes them dangerous. I'm sorry, God, I just didn't want to forget that.
No, I think that is well said, and it looks great on paper. But again, it all their heart relies on Tatum. That's really what it boils down to. I would think Porzingis is an upgrade for them because I didn't really see the Marcus Smart. Whatever he did on defense this year and last year, I didn't ever thought it was all that, to be honest with you. He did his thing, but it wasn't crazy. But he would turn the ball over so much and make all these knucklehead plays that it was like, all right, what are we doing here? Porzingis is now a legit shot blocker, rim protector. They have more of that. They really have. Remember, Robert Williams got injured. So now you got Porzingis and Robert Williams. That's kind of tough defensively. So again, I see here Dallas Austin said Porzingis is not going to be the difference. Man, listen, you rather him shoot that rock than Marcus Smart. That's crazy.
Hold on, Flea, before you go. Brogdon at the 1, Jalen at the 2, Tatum at the 3, Porzingis at the 4, Williams at the 5. They still got Grant Williams coming off the bench, Horford, Derek White. Bro, that's the best team in the league, bro.
I think Derek White's going to start. Derek White, Tatum, Brown,
right.
one of Porzingis and one of Horford or Williams with Porzingis.
Either way, I'm sorry to cut you off. I was just excited, but either way is fine with me. It doesn't matter. But that 5 right there, think about how many teams in the league, nobody's in their proper position. Like even with Phoenix, who's the point guard if you play both of them? Even though I still think it should work. I'm just saying Boston got a legit where everybody's in their proper position. Listen, that's scary to me. That's scary to me. I'm sorry.
I think it makes Boston the favorite, preseason favorite to come out of the East. But I agree with Fabian. It's not what puts them over the top to win a championship. To me, that just comes from Tatum and Brown. They just got to be better. They got to improve. It's trials and tribulations. They're losing. They play the game the hard way. It's very your turn, my turn, isolation all the time. Tatum and Brown, if they just continue to get better, I think that will be what gets the Celtics over the hump because, I mean, Jaylen Brown had a nightmare series in the conference finals, and Tatum wasn't good enough. He had good games, but he still was not quite good enough. But, yeah, that's my take on that.
I think there's so much to unpack with this move for both teams, right? So if we start with Boston, right? Boston, like you said, gets another guy that stretches the floor and a rim protector. I think the biggest thing for them is they get Al Horford the fuck off the floor. Get him off the floor. He plays entirely too much. And he had to because they didn't have anybody else. So he had to play a lot. But that puts them in the position now. You could pull Al off the floor a little more and get a guy that can take volume shots now. Like Al is going to hit open shots from the corners, from 3, hit big shots down the stretch. You get another guy with Porzingis who can actually go get you 20 to 25 a night if you need it from him. Capable rebounder, capable guy that's going to defend the rim. But I think the biggest winner out of the deal, and it makes Boston championship a bust for me. I agree with AllBall. I think that top to bottom, their roster is like almost unflawed. Like, where are the flaws? Like, you know, maybe you're missing a little bit of shooting, but other than that, if you look top to bottom on paper, they should be the favorites coming out the East right now. We don't see the other moves yet, but right now they should be the favorites. Memphis, I think, is the biggest winner out of this whole thing. We've been watching Ja Morant struggle with trying to figure out how to be an adult. I think you finally get an adult in the locker room with Marcus Smart. He's an older player, a guy that could kind of corral that locker room and tell them kids, stop acting like fucking kids. Let's grow up. And y'all got a good thing right here. Memphis got the last 2 defensive player of the year on their roster in their starting lineup right now. In their starting lineup, Triple J and Marcus Smart, back-to-back defensive player of the year.
Good point.
So now, and Marcus Smart is a great stopgap for that 25 games you're going to miss Ja Morant. So, and that allows those guys to get some chemistry with Marcus Smart. So I think that they're the biggest winner in this whole shit right now. You get Steven Adams back. You get Brandon Clark back. You get, you get Marcus Smart. You get Ja Morant back. Watch out for Memphis. I'm just saying, if they get their head on their shoulders right and they actually play, they're going to be very, very good with that addition. And another move that I thought, that's a part of that deal, Tyus Jones and Jordan Poole is your backcourt going forward with Washington. They tanking. They trying to figure out what they're gonna do going forward. But they got a point guard who doesn't turn it over, and they
Yeah,
got a two
solid.
guard, and they got a two guard that could fill it up when he gets the minutes. We know Jordan Poole could average 25 if you give him 30 minutes a night, right? So I think for the first time in a 3-team deal, all 3 teams made out good. Like all 3
Good point.
teams,
Yep.
I think, made out pretty well.
The Memphis Grizzlies, the only thing I'd say about them is they got to get someone that can replace Tyus Jones at that backup point guard spot. They don't have anyone there right now.
Yeah.
I think backup point
Yeah.
guard is a pretty valuable position in the NBA these days.
Shit, hold on. If your guy's smart, that's where he need to reroute to. Chris Paul.
Okay, but then who starts the 2? Kennard?
Bane.
You talking about,
And who
you talking about
starts
over in Memphis?
and who starts at the 3?
No. I'm saying he could be a backup point guard in
I
Memphis.
know, but I'm saying then who's the starting lineup? Because they lost Brooks. I thought Smart was going to fill in to start with Ja, but
Hold on. So it wouldn't be Ja at the 1. It's not Smart at the 2. Who's at the 3?
They
Marcus
got
Smart at the 3. Bane at the 2.
They got
Oh.
faith in They got faith in Zaire Williams.
yeah, but that's my
the other-
point. Wait,
That's the other kid.
But
in
you
my
just said it, though. Oh, you're saying okay. So you're saying start Zaire Williams and bring Smart off the bench.
No, I'm saying Smart, Bane, Zaire Williams, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams. That's what I'm saying.
What about when
You
Ja comes back? What about when Ja comes back? Do you put Zaire
When Ja
Williams
comes
on the
back,
bench?
I feel like you should take Marcus Smart off the bench. That's me.
Okay, and then do you start Zaire Williams?
I would think so. If you're not going to
Okay.
resign Dylan Brooks, you got to have a bunch of faith
They
in
already
Zaire
said that
Williams.
Brooks ain't coming back. He's done.
Right. So if you're not, which we could say what we want about the antics and all the bullshit, but he's the type of player that Memphis needs, in
Right.
my opinion. Like he's
They
the type
gotta
of
be
player
gonna
they
miss
need.
Listen,
So,
they got a good. Listen, sometimes you have good problems. They got a good problem.
thank you, OG. Thank you.
They got a
Like,
good problem. I have no problem. They got a good problem.
call it what you want. Every team figures out how, if you're a good team, you figure out how to work with your good problem, right? Draymond Green is a good problem, right? Like that's a good problem to have. Marcus Smart was a good problem for Boston to have. Flops all over the place, but plays his heart out for 48 minutes, right? So I don't know.
Listen, to me, only two teams in the West that's big that play big. Pause. That's Denver and LA.
Mhm.
So Sacramento was little. Golden State is little. Nobody even pays Minnesota no mind. Like Denver,
And
they not a big team. So I just feel like I said, to me, I don't mind playing when Ja Morant is there. Ja Morant at the 1, Bane at the 2, Smart at the 3. Then you got JJ and Steven Adams at the 4 and the 5. I have no problem with that.
All ball. Minnesota right now is paying $443 million in total to their 3 bigs. Cat, Gobert, and now Naj Reid.
Terrible.
We about to go get Cat. We could talk about that offline. We about to go and get
We'll do that another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to go get him.
Fabian, you got anything you want to close it out?
With that, I think y'all hit it on the nose, man. That defensive player of the year thing, I forgot about that. Having Smart and Triple J. Marcus Smart plays a lot of games, right? He's pretty durable.
Yeah,
I think he misses around
he
10 to
plays when he's
15
hurt.
season.
Yeah.
Right. So and with Triple J there, I think he's a little bit another knucklehead though. I think he has a lot of mishaps for a guy who's supposed to be defensive player of the year, like that stature. So that coach should be on the hot seat as well for allowing all that to take place in Memphis. But obviously it's all on John Morant and how he plays too. If he comes back, no nonsense. Because again, we talked about Kevin Durant for an hour, whatever it was. John Morant needs to get it together. Like, it is what it is with him. You fault him whatever you want. He makes bad decisions on and off the court. But specifically on the court, all that extra reckless behavior that he does on the court is crazy. And to have Marcus Smart there, and I think Triple J is pretty reckless too. Makes a lot of mistakes. So they have to AllBall's point, I think, with the CP3 thing, that's what it is. Like, when is Memphis going to be more disciplined? All right, you got rid of Dylan Brooks because you're kind of using him as a scapegoat. You're saying Marcus Smart is the guy. He's not known for being disciplined. So that is what they're lacking, even though I still do like him being able to shoot and create and just be a creative of some sort on the court and being replacing Dylan Brooks as the tough guy. Like Marcus Smart ain't scared of nobody. I have never seen him scared of nobody on that court. So I like him being the pit bull out there.
Well, this was a great time, guys. I think we covered everything, all the latest news. Hopefully, we continue to be consistent with this. Oh, yes.
Do we have a real quick reaction to the draft, or it was nothing like nothing to even talk about, right?
I mean, to me, I could be 30 seconds. It was boring. I wish all the guys all the luck in the world. I wish all them guys play up to their potential. I really don't see no game changer. I really don't see nobody that's gonna make a difference. Like I said, a lot of good players. I didn't see like a great play. Like I said, Wembanyama, I gotta see more. But to me, the draft was boring. No trades. Like I said, I don't see nobody that's a life changer. I'm sorry. Maybe somebody will surprise me, but I really don't have much to say.
Before you go, Flea, I'll ask you this, Flea. If you're the Hornets, do you take Brandon Miller over Scoop?
I thought that was I got a funny feeling about Brandon Miller. Like there's something about that kid that's rubbing me the wrong way. I don't know him personally, but to be involved with what you was involved with in Alabama, right? There's some cover up going on. There's something. I just want to see what type of maturity he has as a professional on this level. And that's just my concern. That's a personal thing with me. I just want to see how that plays out. But if I was Mike, I would have chose Scoop over Brandon Miller. If that's just me. I would have chose. I'm sorry?
Talent-wise, you got Scoop over Brandon Miller.
Yeah, I just think pairing Scoop with LaMelo is thinking outside of the box as opposed to pairing LaMelo with Brandon Miller. You know, the knock on Scoop is that he can't shoot, but the kid is in the gym with Steph Curry, right? Like he can't shoot it yet, but he's clearly with the guy who's going to get him to where he needs to be on the next level. So, I just thought that this was the first time in the history of me watching the draft that I was trying to figure out when is it going to be over. I never saw the first round go for 3 hours. The shit went for 3. What was it? Something different? Am I wrong? Like I've never seen the draft be that long. 3 hours for the first round. That was crazy to me. But a lot of guys to be determined. You know, we got to see.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts are so much pressure on Wembanyama. I mean, I'm so excited. I'm so excited though to watch the first game and the Spurs, and it's gonna be so much pressure on the poor guy, but it's gonna be fun. There's gonna be so many people talking about it after. The Spurs are relevant again, and that's honestly fun for those people. And then I do agree with Flea. I think that if it was 1985 or even 2005, go with the fit. But nowadays, you just seem to go with best available player because we saw with like Halliburton and Fox. Yeah, it didn't work out between those two, but they ended up getting Sabonis and they broke a drought. So worst case, even if your two guys that you draft are not the best fit for each other, you can still trade one of them, the one that you want, and get really good value, better than you would have gotten by having the lesser player. But so, yeah, I agree with Flea on that. My only thing about the draft is the kid that Golden State picked. I was telling Fabian about this, Brandon Porzingis from Santa Clara.
You just took my you read my mind.
He's really good, man. I saw him play live this year against Pepperdine, and like he's so comfortable in the pick and roll, like floater, 3-ball, contested, made all the right reads, 6'5", so he's a really solid rebounder for his size. High basketball IQ.
He has a pro. He has a pro handle. He can handle the basketball like a pro.
He's really good, and I think he can play off the ball a little bit. I think he's a perfect fit for Golden State. It's just a matter of if he's going to play much, especially with Chris Paul being there. But Chris Paul's going to miss his games. Steph Curry will miss his games. I hope he can get a chance because the crazy part about this kid is he was in the second round, like projected second round before the college season started. He snuck into now he's going to go early second round, maybe late first round. And now he ended up being the 19th pick. So, like, the fact that he consistently rose is a great sign. And the reason that is because every time people see him play, he's only doing himself more favors. And that's a big thing. So, I don't really have that much knowledge on anyone else. Jaime Jaquez going 18th to Miami was surprising to me because I never thought Jaquez would go that high. But they needed – they're really looking for power forwards. And I think that was a reach.
That was a reach for me. I like Jaime, but that was a reach.
Yeah, that's all my.
I was gonna add because I don't watch college ball. I was gonna ask you, was it a mistake for Miami to take Jaquez instead of the kid? How you say his name? Podzimski?
Well, Not necessarily, because I think they like Vincent. I think Lowry gave him some good minutes. I think they really want somebody at that force. They don't have any big forwards. We saw that hurt them badly against the Nuggets. So
Yeah,
that's one
they
thing
need
you like to
another
play
big.
bully ball.
Is that it? Is that it? Sportsman?
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Yes,
The
sir.
Four
Yes, sir,
Sportsman.
man. Listen, man. I'll see y'all next Sunday, man. Let's, like I
Plug
said,
yourselves,
still.
though. Plug yourselves before we leave.
Oh, well, you know, AllBallTV, man. Always a pleasure. My guy Flea, Fabian, Dom. But hey, man, just my whole thing is follow everybody: Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Hey, man, y'all see the names down there. We all good brothers, man. All different opinions, all different perspectives, but all love. And I just love being up here with y'all brothers, man. But AllBallTV, Flea, Dom, Perspective. I say just follow everybody, man. I plug everybody. It's all love.
Yep.
That's what's up. Yo, support don't cost a thing. Doesn't cost $1, y'all. Doesn't cost $1. Support what we doing, because we really passionate about this hoops thing. Go ahead and follow me, @RWeLive_Flea on all platforms. We'll be back at it next Sunday, y'all.
Yes.
Yep. Go ahead, Fabian.
Four Sportsman, baby. Four Sportsman. Favorite perspective here. All ball, Flea, Dom. What some of my favorite people to just talk ball with, kick it with. And listen, Flea just said it don't cost you a thing, but it will cost you if you don't support, because you're gonna get FOMO, whatever they call it. You're gonna feel like you're missing out on this, baby. We talking about
All Ball at AllBallTV on Instagram. Make sure you follow me at dimedropperpod on all platforms, and of course subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you know every single time we go live or post a video, so you got the latest. Let us know what you thought. I really want to hear you guys' feedback in the comments of what you thought of this kind of episode. Is a new thing we're doing, so kind of like a weekly show. I don't really do anything like that, so this is the first time we're doing it, or second time we're doing it. First time the video is going to stay up on my channel. I think I had like another video that day, so I couldn't leave it up. So this one's going to stay up on my channel. Please comment and let me know what you think. And make sure to tune in everybody on Instagram and stuff, especially All Ball's Instagram. We don't know what famous white people song he's going to walk to next in the streets.
Yo, let me tell you something. When I look forward to waking up in the morning and seeing, look, he like,
dude, he's saying hello to ghost, man. He's saying hello to good morning to this ghost.
Yo, I look forward to that every morning, OG. You have no idea, man.
Appreciate you. I got
Should we put up a poll? Polls of what songs we want to see All Ball walk to in the morning? That's crazy.
Yo, I think we need to start doing that, man, because those things are classic, man.
Now, listen, I got y'all. Listen, I got y'all tomorrow morning. I got a good one for y'all.
Yo, this motherfucker be saying good morning to people. You see him?
The ghost.
He saying good morning.
There's no one there.
Hey, Don, it be people there sometimes. Don.
Sometimes, no, just like the people that remember when All Ball went to Utah to mess with Danny Ainge.
Man.
He said,
Listen, man,
I said to him, go ahead. I said to All Ball,
we good, dog.
I said to All Ball, I said, what's next? Living on a Prayer? And he goes, that's my guy, Bon Jovi.
That's right. Listen, man, a pleasure. See y'all next Sunday. Tune in, man. Let's do it.
I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all this week sometime. At some point. You already know.